How do you feel about the Christians who died in Egypt from the bomb? Does it matter to you that they were Christians? Is it okay because they're Christians, or?
It's not okay, people dying.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what religion and what is their culture. People shouldn't die from bombs.
All right.
Yes, of course it's really bad. I'm from Brazil, so in Brazil it's really common, the violence there. It's like the R&D thesis.
Okay.
There is really, really bad now.
And do you
violence, but it's not good.
So there were bombings in Egypt a few days ago.
Christians.
Right. 2 Christian churches Coptic churches were bombed. So what is your reaction when you hear that? Were you like excited and happy that Christians had died, that non-Jews had died? Or like, does it bother you that innocent people die regardless of their religious affiliation?
You know, you have to be a psychopath to be happy when anyone dies.
Okay.
That's what it comes down to. These are, people want to pray in whatever faith they like, and they're being killed for that. It doesn't matter who they are, if they're Jews or Christians or Buddhists or whatever. If
All right.
kill anyone, it's just barbarianism.
And like, when these sorts of things happen, in your experience, have you heard Jews or Israelis like expressive of like jubilance?
No,
Like,
no, never.
No rejoicing in the streets, passing out. Okay.
The only thing I've heard is like, maybe now the world would see what we deal with. It's the only thing I've ever, like, it's not a positive thing.
Not that they're happy about it.
Not that they're happy about it, but maybe
some
people
sympathy or understanding.
Will see, this is what the Israeli society gets all the time. They're being persecuted because they're Jewish. What is this?
The terrorist attacks in Egypt. What are your thoughts on that, if you've heard about it?
When it happened, I heard
yesterday
President Assisi saying that in Egypt there is no difference between the Muslim and the Christians. That's what he said. As we were saying, to get people together, which is a good thing to say.
Right.
It is true,
right?
Because religion is a private matter. It's not really a. So it's like terrorism is terrorism.
Okay.
Terrorism use Islam as a vehicle to do things. They're not really, because the word Islam means someone who submits to God.
Okay.
The word Islam actually it came from a Hebrew word. Muslim means someone who's submissive to God. So
even when we pay people in Israel, we're giving something over. We say Meshalem.
Exactly. The whole point is you totally, completely devoted to God. So when you say you're a Muslim, it means you're full submit to God and you do terrorist acts. It means you're not really submitted to God. You're doing what you want to do. So people use terrorism, people use Islam. I think the religion has been hijacked.
Okay.
If I can use that word, it's been hijacked.
And does it matter to you that the people who were hurt were Christians or Muslims, or if they were Jews?
It doesn't matter.
That make a difference?
Humans are human beings. The question is that basically the Muslims have to come up and speak up against their own people, saying, guess what? If your brother uses Islam as a means to do terror, you're telling him, hey, hold a minute, that's not right. So until they speak, I'm not a Muslim.
Right.
I'm not a.
But you're saying what you see. This is what you see.
I'm not Arab. So therefore, if I say something, I say, oh, it's from the other side. But if your brother tells you from the inside, tells you, therefore the Muslim world, the Arab world must speak up against their own brothers and sisters, saying, guess what? What you're doing is not right. And if you're using the name of Muslim, if you're using Islam as a means, now Islam in the time of the Prophet was very, very much like it was terroristic. Okay. Because it was about conquering things. But then Baruch Hashem, the world has moved on from that. You don't really go and take things anymore. You just, you ask if it's yours. If it's not yours, you leave it alone. But today, they're still going back to the way it was back when the Prophet Muhammad started.
6th century.
Exactly, and that's not really right anymore, because it's like you're going backwards. You cannot go backwards and go forward at the same time. You see me yourself. I mean, basically, they're not honest. Let's cut the chase. They're not honest. They're terrorists, and you must fight them with every means you can, every means necessary.
Okay.
Give you example that represents our history. When Hitler and Max Schmoll started conquering other nations, it was Poland, Czechoslovakia, whatever. other nations fell. But Churchill told them, hey, guess what? You cannot do that. You know, it's not right. He said, we'll fight you and beat you. We'll fight you on to the last drop. That's when there was a catalyst for people to say, hey, guess what? We cannot just, so until the Muslim world get up and say, guess what? We had enough.
Right.
Don't use us, don't use our name, don't use our religion to do terror.
Right.
But until they wake up, that's it.
Do you mind giving a short bit of information about your background, or you prefer not?
No, I'm just a typical Israeli.
What are your thoughts about the terrorist attacks in Egypt yesterday? Do you think it makes a difference that innocent Christians die, or does it not matter? Is it good? What do you think?
Egypt has had a very long problem with Coptic Christians.
Okay.
For the fact that they are Demis and they live in a fully Muslim country, even though, you know, the Muslim Brotherhood was overthrown about 3 or 4 years ago, and even though there's a military junta that's controlling Egypt, you still have a lot of Muslims who do not want there to be another religion other than Islam.
Okay.
So what's happening in Egypt is something that's been going on for a very long time, and there's always been terrorist attacks and Christians have been murdered, and the government has not reacted properly to it because they just don't see the urgency and people just don't seem to care as much.
Okay.
And also, the military itself and the government itself is not like in Israel, where if that were to happen here, you know, people would literally be on their Facebook. Donald Glover has a thing, like he says a skit where, like, let's say if someone was sold into slavery, you know, you can't get away with that today. If someone would write on Facebook, WTF, you know, like, someone would write up, like, you know, I was just kidnapped and sold into slavery. Oh my God, that happened to you? WTF, right? In Egypt, however, there's a big military censorship.
Okay.
And, you know, a little bit of press did get out that Coptic Christians were killed, and they are a persecuted minority in Egypt for centuries, because of the Islamic supremacy that existed in Egypt, and it's existed for a very long time.
And so who was there first in Egypt, the Copts or the Muslims?
So the Copts have been there before the Muslims.
Okay.
The Copts actually go back to the Gnostic Gospels,
Okay.
back at the time when Christianity was rising. The Copts are actually probably one of the original founders of Christianity. In
Okay.
So
And
they were obviously there way before Muhammad came up ever. So the religion was there before.
Okay.
And it's distinctly Egyptian, and it's distinctly from that region.
Okay. And the fact that Christians died in those bombings of the churches in Egypt, a lot of people who hate Israel or who hate Jews, they have this idea that Jews relish in the fact that non-Jews died, or they think that Jews hate Christians so much that, like, we celebrate when they die. I mean, of course, you know, there's the hearsay that Jews sacrifice Christian babies on Passover, and in the Muslim world there's the idea that Jews sacrifice a Muslim baby. So what is your opinion on that? Are you happy that Christians died?
Well, I'm not happy that anyone dies as a Christian. You know, I served in the military, and we would always try our best to avoid civilian casualties.
All right.
And we'd always try our best to preserve life. You know, we were told we would always try to...
But only Jewish life, right?
Any kind of life.
Okay.
I remember once there was an operation, and I was in Nabi Salah.
Okay.
And the Arabs called us. Now, these Arabs in Nabi Salah are very hostile to Israel.
Okay.
And they would always throw rocks at cars. So I remember I was there once, and they called the army, and they called us. And because there was a little girl who was having seizures, uncontrollable seizures. You know, we ordered 669 to come pick her up and take her to an Israeli hospital.
Personal experience of Jews being mean to non-Jews or showing hatred towards Arabs.
So,
what do you feel about that? Does that represent most of
it
Israeli
doesn't represent
society?
most Israeli society. I mean, again,
Do you deny that it exists?
it exists. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but it's not like I was in Orange County, California.
Okay.
There's tons of skinheads and neo-Nazis that live there.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to judge all Orange County and say they're all Nazis just because there's a few skinheads that live there. It's the same thing with Israel. There's obviously, extreme elements in every society. Just like in Germany, there's the extreme right, also Nazis, and the rise of this ultra-right nationalism that's happening in Germany, in France.
If you could just non-scientifically throw a statistical percentage of the amount of Israelis who celebrate the death of Christians or innocent Muslims when they hear about it.
I would say it would have to be less than half to 1%.
Okay.
Because even, for example, I live in Kiryat Arba, Hebron.
Okay.
We have, in the region, settlers have an organization called the Roots of Friendship.
Okay.
And what they do is they try to bring Arabs and Jews together and to make a dialogue between each other. And we have also big leaders like Yehuda Glick,
Okay.
who is a member of parliament, who lives in a town south of me in the West Bank called Otniel. And, you know, he wants to improve the lives of Arab citizens that live in Israel. And he wants to help them have education, healthcare. So, I mean, this is the majority of Israelis. And this is the majority of what's happened since the beginning of the state. Ben Gurion himself thought that we could win over Arab favoritism if we give them education, if we give them better lives, housing, if we give them the opportunities, you know, they will like us.
Okay.
And that was a flaw that has been going on ever since, but it's still very much in the Israeli psyche.
Okay.
For example, during the 70s and early 80s, the Haifa University used to bring a bunch of high school Arabs to visit Haifa University to inspire them to go to college, and they would trash the place. They would trash the university. Now, you know, obviously they're young kids, and you know maybe they like to goof around or whatnot, but they still kept the program going because they believed in trying to get the Arab population to get an education and improve their lives, and in return, the Israelis believe, and they still have this belief, that we can make Arabs like us for being good to them.
All right. Well, I guess that brings us into a whole topic that we don't really have time for, but maybe we'll get to speak again.
Yeah.
אוקיי, ומה אתם חושבים על הפיגועים במצרים אתמול?
אני חושב שכל פיגוע נגד אוכלוסייה מסוימת היא לא טובה, היא מקלקלת והורסת, בלי שום קשר אם זה אצל המוסלמים, אצל נוצרים או אצל מישהו אחר, ולא משנה באיזה מקום בעולם.
זה לא משנה, נכון.
אם הם חפי פשע אבל לא יהודים, זה לא עושה את זה בסדר.
לא עושה את זה בסדר אם זה לא בא בתור מלחמה.
אנחנו אנשים, אנחנו בני אנוש.
אם זה לא בשטח מלחמה, שאומרים שטוב, עכשיו אני נלחם נגדך, אבל לא נגד אוכלוסייה אזרחית, גם לא סתם נגד חיילים, כשזה לא במצב של מלחמה ובשטח מלחמה.
כן, אוקיי.
כמו למשל הגבול או משהו.
כן.
זה לא שעכשיו אני כל איש
שם
ביטחון.
בתפקיד
בדיוק, זה לא אומר
של...
שאם עכשיו אני על מדים, אז כל מוסלמי ישאל אותי, אני חושב שאני... שהוא צריך להרוג אותי, כי אני מייצג משהו מסוים.
ולדעתכם רוב הישראלים, מה הם חושבים? אין תשובה נכון או לא נכונה, אוקיי? רוב הישראלים לדעתכם, הם יגידו שכאילו הם סתם נוצרים, מה אכפת לי שהם מתו?
לא חושב, אני רוצה לקוות שלא, ואני מאמין שלא.
מה דעתך? לדעתך האם רוב הישראלים עלולים להגיד זה סתם גויים שמתו, מה אכפת לי שילדים מתו?
לא נראה לי שאומרים את זה.
ואתם רואים את עצמכם כחילונים גמורים, דתיים?
דתיים.
דתיים מקפידים?
דתיים.
אוקיי, בסדר. תודה רבה.
בכיף.
Okay, so you know there were two churches in Egypt bombed a few days ago. Those churches were Coptic churches. They're among the last Christians in Egypt. Can you tell me what you know about Copts, if anything?
I don't know anything.
Right.
Like the Coptic church, I don't know.
All right. Well, the Copts are actually descendants of the original Egyptians. Muslim Egyptians are also believed to be descendants of original Egyptians.
Okay.
But the Coptic culture retains, and also their language especially, is sort of like the remnant of the ancient Egyptian language as opposed to Arabic.
It's a shame that it was bombed then.
Okay, but do you think
it was a shame no matter what.
Do you think that from a Jewish perspective, we didn't ask like whether you're Jewish, or actually that was kind of understood, but do you think from a Jewish perspective or from your personal opinion that it makes any difference whether or not they were Jews who were bombed or Christians or Muslims? Like, do you consider it
I mean,
insignificant because they were Christians? How do you
no, there's for sure a significance.
All right.
There's for sure a significance. So the way they describe it, this is the last of a certain culture, of a subculture of Egypt, that's being targeted, and this is a minority.
Like, do you think it's okay for Christians to be like slaughtered or persecuted?
No way.
Okay.
I don't think it's okay for anybody to be slaughtered.
All right. And what do you think would be, just from your impression, having lived in Israel? How long have you lived in Israel?
Since 2007.
All right. And before then, were you ever in Israel?
A little bit, but not really.
So just from your experience living here, what would you say would be the opinion of the average Israeli?
The average Israeli.
We're not saying it's a fact. Just what's your impression? No, would you think they'd be happy that Christians were killed?
They'd be incredibly sad. That the average Israeli is they're very inclusive. They care about a lot of people, and you know, this is a country where if something happens anywhere in the world, they send people to help, and they're one of the first countries to send. If any type of natural disaster, any type of disaster happens somewhere in the world, Israel is one of the first countries to send help.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks a lot. So there were bombings in Egypt a few days ago. ISIS took responsibility for bombing 2 Coptic churches. So Coptics are the traditional Christians of Egypt, right?
Okay.
So the question is whether you as a Jewish individual are either happy to hear that Christians die.
Well,
what's your response? Are Jews are you happy to hear it?
We're not supposed to rejoice in our enemies' fall.
Okay.
But
do you think it's okay that people killed innocent Christians, or because they're Christians it doesn't?
No, for sure not.
Okay.
But I mean, today is how innocent they may be. One might find that if you look closer that they have a motive also. I don't know, maybe.
Who has the motive?
No, like if they egg it on or something, or don't take it seriously.
You don't. But do you know much about this, or are you just speculating?
No, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And if Jews in general, let's say like Israelis, if they hear that like innocent Christians or anyone innocent of any religion is massacred, what would be what do you think the response of most Israelis would be? Would they be happy to hear that?
No, for sure not. No.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So, in your opinion, does it matter that they were Christians or Muslim or Jewish? Does it make it more bad or the same?
It's always sad.
Okay.
For every people.
Okay.
Independently of religious.
Okay. And what do you think is your impression? How do you feel most Israelis would think about this bombing? If they were Jewish or Christian, do you think they think it's bad in all situations?
I hope so.
You hope so? Do you feel that they are happy that the Christians died?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Perhaps they are. I don't know if they are concerned.
Okay.
They have so many problems here. Are they concerned by what happened in Egypt? I don't know, because as I said, I don't speak to many people. So
I understand.
זה לא טוב.
אכפת לך שהם נוצרים, או פחות אכפת לך בגלל שהם נוצרים, או אתה רואה אותם כבני אדם?
אכפת לי, זה בני אדם, זה נוצרים, זה בסדר, אכפת לי, למה לא? בשביל מה הם הלכו לנוצרים לפגוע?
נכון.
זה הכנסייה שלהם, וזה...
נכון.
זה רוצים לחרבט את העולם, הכלבים האלה.
אוקיי, טוב, אני מאוד מודה לך על התשובות שלך.
תודה רבה.
ומאחל לך חג כשר ושמח.
שמח.
He just said that it is just another example of how Arab culture, in the sense of Islamic culture, is destructive. And the guy didn't care much. Well, he said it hurts less when it's not your people. שני הפיגועים הם פה נגד הנוצרים האחרונים שיש במצרים. נכון. איך את רואה את זה? משנה לך שהם היו קופטים או יהודים או מוסלמים? זה משנה לך?
טרור הוא טרור.
אוקיי. והאם את רואה את זה איזשהו קשר?
אני עצובה מה שקורה בסוריה.
כן.
הם ערבים ומאוד מעציב אותי בכלל. מלחמה היא דבר.
אז לא אכפת לך איזה דת הבן אדם, אכפת לך שאנשים חופי פשע מתים בזה.
ממש.
אוקיי.